My name is Steve Rapley, as you can see on there. I work with the London team as an ITA, International Trade Advisor. Spent about 30 years as an export manager on the sales and marketing side, and been working with UKTI for a couple of years. How many people here are actually exporting at the moment? You, sir. And many countries, may I ask? Okay. So most people, obviously, you either have a UK business looking to expand, or you're looking to start a business which could in fact be international alone, without actually having a UK end of things. First of all, I'd like to explain to you a little bit about what UKTI is about in terms of what the government is anticipating. There's a very big target for, as you can see, £1 trillion worth of exports by 2020. I have to say there's still a long way to go, so we definitely need you on board. But also importantly, 100,000 more UK companies to be exporting by that time. And I think that's something, even if we don't actually make the pound figure, certainly in terms of the companies, if we get those companies on board, we're going to get pretty close. On the investment side, UK trade and investment, we're looking to continue to encourage companies to come to the UK, set up their head offices, their organisations and their manufacturing. And indeed, the UK is already a desirable location for international companies. International trade is important. 60% of exports contribute exports contribute to over half of our GDP growth. So that's vital, important for jobs, and also for the businesses themselves, because a little bit of diversity is always very good. As a company, why should you export? Some of the main points on here really is spreading the business risk. You're in different markets, some may be up, some may be down. If you're spending a lot of time and effort in R&D, then obviously you have a larger, wider target market, and also your product may have a shorter lifespan in the UK, but there may be countries around the world where you can just add another 2 or 3 years or more to the life cycle of your product, and of course employment vital. These figures really speak for themselves, but the bottom line is really that companies that are exporting are stronger, more resilient, and they're more likely to be progressive in terms of new product development, packaging, presentation, etc. And as we found out a few years ago, growth in the UK is not necessarily guaranteed. If you're present in London, the numbers there are showing that 46% of London companies actually are exporting. Now, that is goods and services. In London, obviously, we have a lot of tech companies, we have a lot of service companies, but as you can see, they are very much internationally involved. Just quite interesting, because just sort of the range of markets, USA, obviously, big market, but difficult market to get into. Holland, Netherlands, Benelux, quite a more relaxed and a selection of countries that it's very easy to take as a group. Our mission, which is why I'm here basically, is to help UK companies to grow through international. One thing I say is that we're here to save you time and money. The old days when the government had an open checkbook, say, here's £500, go on holiday and perhaps go and see a couple of companies while you're there. They've gone, and we are much more focused now. And there's a lot of services that we have where we can help to connect you with businesses overseas through our network of embassies, high commissions, and indeed chambers of commerce in those countries that we are working with more and more. We have, as I mentioned, connections actually in over 100 markets overseas. I'm one of the international trade advisors in the London region. There are about 40 of us. And basically what we do is we work with you, bespoke to you, your company, your needs and requirements, depending on the level that your business is actually at. and we can certainly help you through colleagues, and I'll introduce you to one of our partners, if you like, a little later, because there's a lot of help available. I've just got a few case studies here. I'm not going to sort of bore you with them, but if you like to just have a look at what the quotations are, because these are by companies, and this is what they've found has been a benefit of working with UKTI. A third person, we're sort of inside and outside the box. We sort of come to the organization, we chat with you, we look at the business, not a critique rather than a critical way, and we try and sort of work with you, almost become a board member, if you like, but also, we also have our own connections, and we're certainly not dictating to you how you should run your business. Again, international and specific markets. Obviously, you don't just export, the world is a big place, so we help you with market selection. And as you can see here, this company, basically the US and Australia, were very successful markets for them. An international platform, obviously, is a very good to have on your website. It gives you a lot of credibility. And as I said, there's different programs that we have to help you as you grow through different stages of your business. In terms of contacts, through our embassies and high commissions, we can get drill down to making the right connections for you, names, phones, emails, and even help to make appointments for you to get face-to-face meetings. So in London, we have 40 of us, as I said. We are split into sector teams here in the London region. The other regions, there's 9 regions in the UK. Geographically, they tend to pick up sort of per town within their region, simply because it's easier for them to come and meet with you. But again, we're split into the teams that you see there. The hub, as we call it, affectionately not known as the truck, apparently, but the export hub has been touring the country as well, encouraging companies with their exports. And we have an interactive display in there, working with our Exporting is Great website. Now, I thoroughly recommend either here or when you get back home or back to the office that you actually check out the website and register. In terms of the opportunities, what happens is all the markets overseas are sending their opportunities that they're receiving within their countries through to one big database. You can go on there, you can either pick by country, you can pick by sector, and it will then scroll down and give you the opportunities worldwide, and you can tie those in with your product or your service. You register on there, you get more information, and also then other connections that come through, other opportunities that come through on the website will automatically be diverted to you. Some of you here may actually be more into e-commerce, and the e-exporting program that we've had, we actually now have independent digital trade advisors. So we are very much focusing on the e-commerce side of things. Very important, and again, the numbers there speak for themselves. UK online retailing is growing tremendously, and the value of the commerce, coming up to 100 billion probably as we move into 2025. One of the programs that we're offering is called a Trade Show Access Program. If you, as a company, are part of a trade association, there are certain, well, not certain, there are hundreds actually of trade shows throughout the world in different sectors where through an application through your trade association, we can offer a contribution if you're looking to actually put your product or service on display, exhibit at these various shows. From the sort of lack of show of hands, if you like, in terms of export experience, there's a tool called Export Savvy, and I'm going to be available afterwards. I'll gladly have a chat with you, give you my card, and I can put you in touch with Export Savvy, but it is something you can also register for online. And basically it's just an introduction to exporting, and there's a range of PDFs, videos, etc., finding agents and distributors, getting paid, avoiding various sort of pitfalls in the international market. So that I think is a very useful tool. It used to be something that was generated through a program that we had called Passport to Export. That program actually is being revamped, but it will continue, and either myself or an international trade advisor within your sector will tell you a little bit more about that when that program has been confirmed. I've just put here that it's going to be called an export passport. So basically that's what it is. You'll work with the trade advisor over a 12-month period, sit down together, do an action plan, guaranteed certain amount of our time. The commitment from you obviously is that you really want to grow and work with us. And as I say, we can help you then with our contacts, our network, and put you in touch with all the right people. This is another program that we used to channel through UKTI. We still have the contacts and we'll share them with you. An export communication review, which is actually sort of a posh way of saying a review of your website. They are not web developers by any means, but they will chat with you to ensure that you optimize your website, the number of hits, to make sure that you have the right platform that you can grow to international, recommendations perhaps on translation, etc. To independent companies, but again, that we recommend as part of your export drive that you ensure that your website is being seen by all the right people, and then you're getting there on the first page or second page at least, but should be sort of top 3, top 5, anybody that's looking for your product or service. This is where I'm about to hand over to Leslie Batchelor, because Open to Export, who also have a stand here, very, very close in terms of the services that they can offer to companies that are looking to get into the international arena. I'm not going to steal Leslie's thunder, but please, if you'd like to come and tell us a little bit about yourself and obviously what you do.
Thank you very much indeed, Stephen. So Open to Export is more of an open community. It's a completely easy site to access. It's not on. Perhaps I need to hold it really close like this, do I? Because I was doing my nice, quiet, polite voice, so now you're not getting that anymore, right? You're getting my London, shouty sort of voice. All right, so Open to Export is a community that's actually online. It just means that basically if you've got a question, feed in the question, we can answer it. The idea behind it is that it doesn't put any barriers. There's no paywall. There's no registering all your details. The information is there and it's readily accessible. Most importantly, it's written in ordinary language. It's very easy to understand, and we have content editors there. We have content editors there who will actually help you understand some of the details of what's going on. So it's written perhaps an A4 page, and what we do is we take you through the key considerations of everything that's going through. No, that's fine. I can do that. Yeah. Sorry. We do have a webinar program. We have an easy access tool for actually developing an action plan, and the action plans are for smaller businesses and will take you into a competition if you complete it. And just briefly, the action plan will take you through a journey, and it starts off with getting started, and in there you've got all the information you might need for having a new market or taking it into a new country, and it'll give you key considerations to think through. It'll also give you some help selecting a market. There's a lot of information, not just from UKTI, but also from some of the accountancy practices, and also from an organisation called IMA, who are International Market Advisors. And they'll give you some information there about reaching customers. Getting paid is one of the most crucial areas, obviously, and in there's a tool that will help you work through that too. So let me just click through here. It takes you on to the background of getting paid. Oh, it's gone. That's gone. There we go. That might be back. So we're going into selecting a market, and it helps you to work out a short list of the markets you might be going to, and also helps you to understand where you might have the better skills to go into. We do have a stand around the corner, and we're more than happy to actually give you some details and to walk you through the action planning process. £3,000 is on offer if you win, and if you're shortlisted, you get memberships to different organisations to help you go through as well, including obviously the help you get from UKTI as well. So if you've got any questions, just come and find us. Thanks.
Thank you, Leslie. Battling with hay fever, so thank you very much. She could barely speak this morning, so I do appreciate that. So yes, Open to Export, they do have a stand there, and please pass through, because a lot of the action plan actually is a very good readiness sort of what's the right word? Really and truly, am I ready to export? It helps you to ask questions of yourself, of your business, of your infrastructure, if you like. Some companies say yes, exporting is wonderful, but do you have the staff really to deal with additional markets? If you're in production, do you have the capacity? Can you ramp up should you get demand? And hopefully you will get the demand, etc. So it's almost quite a good preliminary, if you like, before moving on to assistance with UKTI. The UKTI website, gov.uk, covers a lot of things. You can buy a dog license, I think, on there as well. But certainly /UKTI, or even on gov.uk, if you search exporting to, doing business with, and a country or whatever, you'll get a drop down. Just about all of our embassies or high commissions overseas, actually, they do have a presentation on there. So you can learn a little bit about the market, and always at the end there is the contact details for the post, as we call them, in that particular country. And of course, through ourselves, we can also guide you in that direction. But please utilize the website. I should just also mention that in terms of helping in a way when you do start the export process and you are growing, UK Export Finance can help you. It's a sort of secondary assistance, if you like, alongside your bank. The first thing, you would obviously go to your normal financial institutions, but Export Finance can actually work with those institutions to help you to guarantee financing. For example, construction projects, often a bond is required, and there are other ways that cash flow can be restricted. And certainly Export Finance can help with that. These are my contact details, but as I say, I do have quite a few colleagues at the hub that can help you. I think most of our sectors are covered. And please come and see us. Come and have a chat with Leslie as well. And we'd be very, very happy to share our knowledge and meet with you here, and follow up by coming to visit you or invite you to our offices so we can sit down in a bit more detail and have a chat with you. So, thank you very much. That doesn't mean to say I'm not expecting questions. That's really just a little bit of fun. But if anybody has any questions, sort of general questions, please feel free. We'll take them here. I think we've got a little bit of time. If not, as I say, we invite you to come and speak one-on-one. But can I ask, would you like to ask a particular question? Could you come and... If you'd just like to ask the audience, because there is quite a lot of hubbub, so please.
It's a simple question. I just wanted to know what the costs are in terms of accessing UKTI services.
Very good question. What are the costs of actually utilizing our services? The initial cost, absolutely zero. Basically, it's a government-led program to try and obviously drive demand for UK exports. We are actually split into 9 regions. The companies that we work for are actually private companies. So they have tendered and bid for, and they're delivering, if you like, all the various services. The export passport program, the connections that we can give to you, the chats with us, absolutely no charge whatsoever. When you do get into charges are things like the communication review, which is, it's bespoke to you. It's a 2-hour meeting. You then get a personalized report, etc. The charge on that, I believe at the moment, is £500 plus VAT. When you are ready to go to market, when you've done your research, there are reports that can be obtained from our embassies and high commissions in the various countries, and that's when they really drill down deep and they find the right introductions for you. They can actually, you can utilize their offices when you visit the country. They'll set up the appointments. There is a charge for that, and that each country and each report is a different charge. However, that is called an OMIS, an Overseas Market Introduction Service. And but as I say, that would be between you. They would send you a quotation, or you would have a good chat with them. They decide, this is what we think you want. Are we right? You say yes. They say, okay, it's going to take us X amount of time. This is the cost. And you either say yay or nay, and you move from there and with that. So.
Does UKTI help us navigate sanctions and Foreign Corruption Acts and all that kind of thing? Sanctions, yeah, US and UK and Corruption Acts and such?
Question there on sanctions, which is obviously slightly delicate subject, shall we say, but the answer is basically what we have to adhere to, whatever the government is administering to us at the time. As an example, as you probably know, the Iranian market has just opened up again. We have somebody who is an absolute expert on Iran, and he is on a lot of the different councils. He's about to go on a trade mission to Iran as well. Doesn't directly answer your question, and you will see on the gov.uk, if you go into that particular country, you'll see what the official position is. Where we are is we're obviously right there at the forefront of any changes that may be happening, and hopefully they're good. But if there's warning signs, we're not going to get you charged into somewhere and then not get paid, which I think could be what you're saying there. So, yeah. Any other questions? Please.
Is there any help for companies who want to set up their business here from other country? Want to set up their business here? Is there any help for that?
Yes, absolutely. The question is, can we help with companies that want to set up their businesses here in the UK? And that was where the investment side of UK Trade and Investment comes in. So I'm not an investment advisor, could certainly put you in touch with one. Yes, I mean, the whole program is to encourage companies to be here in the UK. Obviously, you're employing, you're paying taxes, government's very happy, so yes, absolutely. Yeah. I think from what I've seen, that's about it for now, but please, as I say, come and have a one-on-one with us. We'd be very happy to have a chat with you. Enjoy the show, and I'm not sure what the rest of the program is, but I'm sure it'll be very, very educational. So enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.